Motorcycles have given me direction, purpose, meaning. I locked in. I locked in on life. Listen, man, it's your guy, Mr. Allan Lane. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody's doing well. I hope that everybody's doing actually better than well. I hope that you're doing weller than well. That's gooder than good and weller than well. I have questions, and I need answers. I'm not nosy. I'm inquisitive. I'm curious. I like to know things. Let's just get into it. You know, I was not always a focused, a driven person. The Mr. Allan Lane that you have all come to know and love is a product of years of refinement, understanding of what it means to be in tune with myself. In my younger days, I was a bouncer at a very prestigious 5-star dive bar in Philadelphia. It was an amazing education at that point in my life. The bar was called Bar Noir. Shout out to David Carroll. Shout out to superstar DJ Bobby Startup. Within the first 2 or 3 months of me working there, I realized that my mindset of what it meant to be a bouncer was wrong. One of the things that David Carroll told me, do not be a bouncer if you like to fight. You know, you can substitute the word fight with trouble. If you're looking for trouble, being a bouncer is not the job for you. I learned that I wasn't focused. I was all over the place. I was lost. To be honest, it was never a better time for me to be lost. In that time of my life, early 20s, living downtown in Philadelphia, rock and roll lifestyle. That was my life for several years. And over those years, I began to settle down. When you're a bouncer, you had the opportunity to meet every type of person from every walk of life. You saw everyone on their best day. You saw them on their worst day. You saw them in between. And I realized that the real job of a bouncer was to observe and watch and avoid situations that could ruin a good day for someone who was having a good day, and also try to uplift or improve the day of someone who was having a bad day. That got me thinking about myself and my interactions with the world. This is a great education, but what do I do with it? I took my education and I invested more in myself. I was not happy with myself. I was still lost. I wasn't getting to where I was going. Not the way I wanted to. When I had this somewhat of an awakening in myself, I realized that expectations and potential, that's all based on someone else's perception. Expectations and potential of you are based on other people's perception. And that wasn't good enough for me. It wasn't good enough for me, and it shouldn't be good enough for you. I woke up one morning and I wanted to know what's on the other side of potential. If someone else is looking at me saying, oh, you're capable of this, you have so much potential, I'm not really interested in what they think. I'm interested in what I think. What's on the other side of potential for me, from my perception, as I see it? That is when I begin to find focus. That is when I began to become locked in, or the idea of being locked in really started to awaken within me. Motorcycles, people generically say, oh, motorcycle therapy, motorcycles saved my life, motorcycles this, motorcycles that. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here today, a product of being saved, being rescued by motorcycles. I locked in. I focused. Motorcycles have given me direction, purpose, meaning. Direction, purpose, meaning. I locked in. I locked in on life. Things started to change. I was gaining traction. I was moving in the direction that I wanted to go. And that's the metaphor for motorcycles. Life is the journey. It's not about how you start. It's not about necessarily where you end up. It's about the ride. That's motorcycles. I locked in. So today's question is, have you locked in on life? Have you locked in on life? I'm curious. I'm not nosy. I'm just inquisitive. I'd like to know things. That's all. Drop a comment below. Have you locked in on life? Other than that, I hope that you are all having a wonderful, wonderful day, and that you're doing weller than well and gooder than good. You dig? Podcast over. Boom! Listen, man.